But we probably have on the order of 200 channels of data that we're logging. We could log more than that, but there's 200 opportunities to have a failure. You know what I mean? There's just it's very, very complex how the whole car works as a system. So it becomes really easy to screw yourself. You can overcomplicate it and screw yourself up. And so in an effort to try and minimize that, you try and do it the way you already know it's going to work. Yeah. You know, without trying to try some new method. It's fine if you're going to try something new. Hey, I want to try this. I know it's maybe going to work, maybe not. But on stuff you know how to do, you don't necessarily. Because at the end of the day, you've got a short period of time. I'm never hired onto a team to work with a team for a year or 2 years. It's always show up. My car doesn't run at all. The project's just been completed. You have to show up in a few days, get everything to function how it's supposed to function, and make it work well enough to work on the racetrack and run, and then you're going to leave and they're going to take over from there and do it, you know, do whatever you've set up previously. So you don't get a lot of time to try different, you know, you don't want to just be out there trying new things that you're just constantly supporting and having trouble with, particularly when you're not going to be there. All right, so then do you want to test the injector outputs and make sure they go to the right cylinders?
Yeah. So you start from one, yeah?
I'll start wherever you want.
Well, start.
You're on the odd side, so I'll just go 1, 3, 5, 7. You can come over here and do 2, 4, 6, 8. So here's 1. You honestly probably might have to unplug them to be able to tell. That one's not going, but what about these two down here? Are they going? Can we get those two?
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking stick right into
We thought we'd run through and check the injectors and make sure they go to the right cylinders, but they don't seem to be going to the right cylinders. So I'm just trying to work out where the problem there. It could be at the firewall end. I mean, the only part that's in the car stayed the same. So the part that's the problem is the part that's out here on the motor. But the problem is we don't know how it's wrong. I mean, it'd be easy to move them, get every pin off by one or something like that, and get it where it's, you know, firing the wrong cylinders. So far, the number 1's right, but number 8's firing when number 7's supposed to fire, and so we don't have any of our auxiliaries working like they're supposed to. So I'm just trying to work out what, you know, maybe where the problem is, so I can decide how to fix it.
Could it be as little as one wire out?
Yeah, because like that same kind of connector that I was working on earlier with the thermocouple for the intake temp, get it. You know, you've got all those pins in a circle, and all you have to do is get off by one, right? And then now all of a sudden, every single pin from that point on is switched over by one spot. And I mean, it could be most of the other sensors work, so I think, you know, those are probably right. But I don't really remember if they're all on the same loom, or maybe the injector loom's a separate loom. I can't really remember.
Huh?
So,
no auxiliary injector.
You know, because all the other sensors are working. So obviously the cam and the crank were on that loom because the cam sensor was backwards, so I fixed that. But I just have to work out how it's wrong. And of course it's on a part of the car that you can't easily take off. So if you take it off and put it on the bench, you could just go put it on the bench and work it out. But I'm gonna have to probably try and figure out how I'm gonna fix it while it's on the car, because otherwise it's got to come apart enough to get that harness out. Whether I fix it or the guy that did it fixes it, it doesn't really matter. The point's moot. You got to do the same amount of work either way. So if I can work out what's wrong, then maybe I can just go, oh, here's what's wrong, and switch it at the connector, and we'll be home free.
Go to that one and that one. So that's G and also there. So how is that?
I said they've got 2 power wires on one fucking injector, and I said
I don't know that that's the case anymore. I think I don't know where they're good. I found the number 8. Number 8, the 2 number 8s are tied to themselves, which they should be, so that makes sense. It's on the number 7 trigger, which pretty much means that it's in the wrong pin at the firewall connector.
and
it has to be.
Yeah, which is.
And I'm guessing that
he's got the paperwork. He's got the paperwork.
Oh, he does.
He's got it. He said he got it.
Yeah, well, don't we have the other harness?
Yeah, but not now. It's a fucking thing. But I can't.
Where is it?
It's at home.
That's at your house. So we need to bring it tomorrow so that we can fucking.
Well, he's going to be here.
paperwork
He's
tomorrow.
going to be here first thing in the morning to do it, and I ain't going to be able to fucking get the loom here unless we leave at 6 o'clock in the morning. But
No, fuck that. We just need to bring it so that if there's a problem or whatever, we can check against one and figure out what the other is.
But I pin checked that thing against. I pin checked that your information against that harness, and it all checked properly. He said all the.
I'll tell you what's
He
gonna.
said it's all there.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it
He
is.
said none of it's
They've
in the
either,
loom,
they've
it's
either
all
got
there.
it fucking spliced wrong there, or it's off a pin or whatever.
He said it's all there, so he said it doesn't matter. He said he can sort it out. So he's going to come here first thing in the morning and sort it out. But the bad news is obviously we can't fucking check stuff. So now then we're going to have to go through it all the fucking year.
Yeah, of course. That's fine. Let's just keep going with what. I mean, when we get kicked out, because let's keep going through everything else so that this doesn't just derail the whole thing.
We'd have to derail it because I'm fucking totally honest. It's
So-
not that. It's, I paid him. I gave him the info. I gave him a loom, and he said, "Oh, we never checked your old loom against it." I said, "Why?" He said, "Oh, because we just do it fresh." I said, "Why wouldn't you bell?" Because he said we never belled the old one. I said, "Well, I belled the old one. It matched the info." But I gave you the loom to bell check myself because obviously that's what we do to make sure that you're referencing against the fucking other one.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And I couldn't have made it. The only easier way I could have done it was fucking do it myself. Should have fucking done it myself because I bet I could have done it myself.
All right, look. But he got a hold of the guy that built the loom, and the guy's like, "Look, just I'll come tomorrow and sort it out." So he's gonna come first thing in the morning and fix it. Or at least in theory, he's gonna fix it.
Fucking hell.